What's up, guys? Jason here. Just want to check in and just say what's up. Um, yeah, man. Just life is life, you know. I mean, still continuing to grow. It's just crazy, you know. I know, like, that's what life is. It's a never-ending growing process, you know. And like, so I don't even know why I say that. Like, still continuing to grow. Like, duh, obviously, you know. Even when we're like in our foolishness, even when we're like stuck in addiction, like we're still growing in certain ways, but you know, like, but when we, you know, take ourselves away from like those anchors that are tying us down, those weights that are tying us down, we can grow more, you know. And to be honest, even though the like addictions, like of any sort, like weights, whatever you want to call them, anchors, you know, it's like weightlifting, right? Like, to grow muscle, to grow strength, you gotta lift weights, right? So addictions, in a way, can actually make people stronger. The struggles you're going through can actually create more strength than you had you not experienced these struggles, these addictions, these problems. You know what I mean? No, I'm not telling people they should go get addictions, go get addicted to a drug, so in the end result you'll become stronger. No, that's pretty stupid, you know. But what I am saying is, like, use the situation you're in, recycle it, turn it into value, you know. It's just like, we got ourselves here, we're here, might as well look at it the best way we can and deal with it, you know, face it and change our perspective, change our attitude on it, you know. Like, man, it's just so crazy how crucial our attitude is, you know. To be honest, like, this last week, man, I had a couple really off days, you know. Like, I had some like kind of depressing feelings. I had some there's one day I had a little bit of an anxiety, you know, like, and even like, you know, I know you guys noticed I posted a couple old videos of me like struggling, trying to quit weed. I just like started a Percocet addiction when those videos were being posted, and it's kind of funny because back then, thinking about it, like, I thought weed was the biggest problem, you know. Had I didn't even realize like I created an addiction to opiates, you know. And because I to be honest, like, growing up, man, like, I partied, you know, like, I smoke weed first of all, like, all day, pretty much every day. If I didn't smoke during the day, I always 100% smoked at night. You know, it was just like breathing air, is oxygen to me. It just gave me such relaxation, such peace, you know. But it was a crutch. At the end of the day, it was a crutch. But the point I'm trying to make here is that, like, I had fun with drugs, you know. I experimented, you know. Like, I would take painkillers every once in a while. Like, I knew instinctively, like, not to take them often, right? Not to take them like more than a couple days in a row, because that's how, like, you would get addicted to painkillers. And like, you always see, like, you know, through other people's experiences, documentaries, movies, whatever, how bad an opiate addiction really is and how hard it is to kick it, right? So I just played around with it and had fun with them, and treated them as like a treat, if you will. Like, that's the word I used whenever I would take painkillers recreationally, just once in a while, right? You know, and drinking too. Drinking was fun. Like, I did it very often, but you know, like, I never got to the point where I had to like wake up in the morning and drink, you know. But eventually, like, even with the drinking, right? Eventually, like, it got to the part where, yeah, I wanted to drink beers every night, and I was drinking beers every night, you know, until until I got my DUI and totaled my car, you know. And I actually had a beer can, an empty beer can in my cup holder in my car when I totaled my car. You know, I was like, all right, yeah, maybe I do have a problem drinking. Like, it took that for me to realize it. Like, I was in such denial. I'm like, yeah, you know, everybody drinks. It's all right, I have a few beers every night. Not a big deal. You know, but it became a habit. It became an addiction. And same thing with the painkillers, right? Like, I liked them a lot. You know what I mean? Like, even though I wouldn't take them all the time at first, I still really liked them. I loved the high. And then, like, you know, my friend, like, introduced me to, like, a 30 milligram Percocet, you know, blue Percocet, and crushed it for me, and, you know, snorted it. And, like, I got so freaking high, man. It was ridiculous. I actually had to puke because I got too high. That was, like, too much because my tolerance wasn't that high yet. But the point I'm trying to make here is, like, drugs can be fun for a season. It can seem so innocent. It can seem so, you know, yeah, innocent, casual, fun, you know, but eventually, like, those things, like, eventually I took Percocets for too many days in a row and became dependent on them, right? So I was just blowing my money, meeting up with a friend, buying them off the street because the doctors wouldn't prescribe them anymore. As some of you guys know, like, I broke my leg in jiu-jitsu and got a little bit of painkillers from the doctors then, and, like, just tried to run with that. I tried to, like, fake my pain and be like, oh, it still hurts so bad, like, I need more Percocets. And thank God, like, doctors weren't having it. They're like, nah, man, you can't be in that much pain. It just doesn't make sense. So I went to the street. I went to my buddies, and he hooking me up, but it's like $1 a milligram, right? So I was picking up, like, I don't know, 8 to 10, 30 milligram Percocets, you know. So one pill is $30. You know, I'm just blowing money on those things. And, you know, like, man, so, like, I'm looking back at old videos when I was just trying to quit weed, right? And I'm just having this realization that, you know, even back then, before I got hooked on the painkillers, man, I had more energy. I had more, like, enthusiasm. I had more, like, just excitement for life, right? More passion for things, more, you know, motivation. And now I'm, like, realizing, like, man, like, even though I'm sober for over 10 months now, like, complete sobriety, I've realized, like, what the opiates, man, like, taking the Percocets, and then I, you know, went to Suboxone off of Percocets, and I went to Kratom after that. So I was using opiates for, like, at least over 3, maybe 4 years. I don't even know, like, the exact time. Just lost track. And I tell you what, that really messed me up. You know, it messed me up because, like, it takes so much of the dopamine receptors, and, like, to give you those neurotransmitters, right? That give you, like, that rush of euphoria, that good feeling, right? And it's like going to the bank and trying to make a withdrawal and not having any money in there. Like, so you take a loan out, and you know what? There's interest on that loan. So, like, the opiate highs, man, I tell you, like, it took such a toll on my body, on my mind, on my emotions, just on everything, you know, like, where it kind of, like, made me more dull. It made me more dull. And I'm not acting like this is like a permanent thing, you know. It's just something I've realized, like, looking back at those old videos, looking back looking at where I'm at now, and it's like, yeah, I'm more mellow. I've matured a lot. I've grown a lot. But at the same time, man, I want that old me back that was just more excited about life, was more enthusiastic, more driven, you know? That's one thing I've been dealing with lately is just having like motivation and drive and battling laziness sometimes. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing stuff. And even though like, man, I work out all the time, man. Like I work out pretty much every single day. I go to the gym like 4 or 5 days a week. I run at least a few days a week. So it's like I'm doing that part right. I'm getting those natural endorphins going too, but at the same time, man, I'm just being honest about this. Like my brain and my mind is still like being restored, you know, and I've seen other guys that like got hooked on pills too, and you know, even when they're sober, like they can be almost like monotone, less like vibrant about life, you know. So I just want to mention that like that's like what opiates just try to rob you, man. They try to rob you, steal who you are, steal your personality, steal your energy. You know, like I literally like kratom and opiates like fried my like adrenal glands, messed with my thyroid, you know, like, and now like I'm sober, but like this damage has been done to me, you know, like I'm being restored, you know, like I'm healing for sure, like, but at the same time, like this is a whole other conversation, guys. Like I got a confession to make. Like I've been taking a lot of caffeine, you know, like coffee, caffeine, pre-workouts. You know, I take pre-workout like all the time, you know, before work or before the gym. And it's something like I've realized I've become dependent on, or not become dependent on, but have been dependent on, you know. And because of that, it's like taking that every day, it's like I'm just like exhausted. I'm just like low on energy, and like I feel like I have to take the caffeine to like get energy or to get through some days, you know. And it's like I don't want to rely on anything. I don't want to rely on anything for energy, for strength. You know, that's what this whole thing is about, like being sober, right? Is just relying on God, relying on Him. He's my strength, He's my rock, He's my fortress. You know, and I put all these things in front of Him. Like weed used to be my place of peace, my comfort. But I tell you, all those things just lead to destruction, lead to slavery, lead to like being in bondage, you know. If you have to take things just to be normal through the day, like that's an issue, you know. So I'll just be real and honest with you guys right now. Like I've made, you know, with the caffeine thing, you know, like it's so like accepted and so popular. Everyone talks about drinking or coffee and like, you know, all these coffee jokes, and like, so it's normal in society to drink coffee every day. And but I gotta obey my conviction, you know. I feel like that's an issue. I feel like relying on anything, even as little as coffee, to get you through the day is weakness, you know. So that's just where I'm at right now, guys. Like I'm just really like, whew, I've been growing so much, and like, you know, understanding, like, you know, like when I have like these depressing feelings sometimes, I'll understand and think back on like taking, like when I used to smoke weed all the time, or taking Percocets, or drinking, you know. It was like, even like that going through the day sober, like when I was using these things, like I would have that thought, like, okay, well, when I get home, I'm gonna get high, and it would almost like give me like hope, give me energy, like give me something to look forward to at the end of the night. And now, like being sober, that's one thing I'm growing, is like not not like looking forward to getting drunk tonight. I'm not looking forward to getting high tonight, because I don't do that anymore. And like having such a long track record of like living like that, always having something like to like as a release when I get home, always having something as a like a poison, right? Everybody's like, pick your poison. um, so now there is none of that, and like just having that thought and realization is like, it's cool because like it's, man, it's just weird, man. My whole life I've lived taking a substance. My whole life I've either get high, drink, Percocets, whatever, kratom. I always had something to lean on, and now like there's nothing. It's just God. It's just, I rely on His strength, His love. Like, it's all we need. Like, there's that deep void in all of us that only God can fill. You can try to temporarily fill it through drugs, through sex, through even success and achievements, but at the end of the day, like there's still that yearning in us, and that thing that only God can fill, and that's the only reason I'm able to get to where I'm at now. Like it's amazing. Like it's amazing. It really is, and it's all because of God. Like it's His power that's working in me and helping me, and yeah. So like I still got issues. I still got like things to deal with, but like addictions is like getting the big chunks out, right? Like you got to get the big things out of the way, and then start working on the smaller things, the character, the the flaws, and thought processes, and negative thought patterns, and making like gratitude, thinking positively, a habit. Man, like we could make ourselves miserable by having the wrong perception, the wrong attitude, taking things for granted. So like, to be honest, like because I've always lived my whole life with a substance, I haven't even reached a full year yet of complete sobriety. So like really, I'm not even a year old yet. Like in that perspective, you know what I mean? Like I know I'm more than a year old, and that's. I hope you get what I'm trying to say through that example, because like, a lot of times we want the quick fix. We want to see all the results right away, and like it's just not how things work in the real life. Like things take time. Things need to mature. They need to like there's planting a seed, and then there's harvesting. You don't just plant a seed today and then harvest the crops tomorrow. No, it's a process for those things to grow. And so this is just what I'm analyzing as I'm on this point in my journey. Yeah, it's fun, but it's sometimes, man, I tell you, it's hard. It is. Like living sober sometimes feels like it's hard, and that's cool. That's cool, because when you're doing something hard, like that's like the most rewarding times in life, is when you're working hard, when you're pushing through obstacles, and you know, that's when we really feel like the most satisfied with life. And I tell you, like, I'm so grateful for my sobriety. I'm so grateful for being free, you know. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie and say it's all great, it's all awesome. I don't have bad days. No, man. Like, it's a challenge sometimes. Some days I feel down, but I'm not gonna cheat and reach for that easy high. I'm gonna keep growing and keep becoming, you know, who God created me to be. And yeah, I just yeah, I just wanted to get that out, you know. Like, I'm realizing, you know, first of all, I'm realizing how much I have came from, how much I have grown, but how much, you know, there's always room to grow, of course. But um, so, anyways, maybe I'm being a little too hard on myself here, but um, man, I just want to do what I should do. I want to be accountable to myself. I want to be accountable to you guys. I want to be honest with you. Yeah, this caffeine issue, I'm dealing with it right now, and that's the next thing to really let go. And you know, I don't think taking caffeine once in a while is a problem. Having coffee once in a while is a problem, but when it becomes a daily thing that we feel we need to, like, get through the day, no, that's an issue, you know. So that's all I got, guys. As always, I appreciate you. I love you, and I'm here. I'm here to help. You know, like, I know I'm just a dude, but for real, like, I feel like I can help and offer, like, encouragement or support to some people who relate, you know. And like, the thing is, like, when I started this journey, and like, you know, like, it felt like I, like, no one truly understood what I was going through, you know. And I felt kind of like on my own, but I know I had God. Like, that's the whole reason I gave it to him. Like, I just called out, like, God, I've tried this on my own strength. I can't do it. You know, I need you to help me. If you don't help me here, like, I can't do it. Like, literally gave it to him, and he came through. He took it. So, all right, guys, I love you. Take care. Hang loose. Be blessed.